So welcome to another episode of Smoke Drink. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Okay, I've done smaller distilleries before. The other night our club did a New Zealand single malt whiskey tasting, and I might review more whiskies in the future in New Zealand, but I don't generally put. Well, look, I focus on scotch and I try to focus on the old and rare or something novelty. But I wanted to make a special post about this one. I tried it and I really enjoyed it. In fact, I held the bottle aside, there's not much left. I held it aside because I really wanted to review it. So Pokeno Whisky is in a sleepy little town in New Zealand. Is it part of Auckland? I don't even know if it's part of Auckland. Who gives a shit? So the people behind Pokeno Whisky, they have a lot of connections around the world with Talabardine and other distilleries. So the man, I believe it's Matt Johns, he is very well connected in the whiskey industry. And with connections in the whiskey industry means you get access to some kick-ass barrels. Now, I have reviewed another Pokeno Whisky before. I'll link it up above. And that was fantastic. I believe that one was chill filtered, which is a no-no for me. But look, I don't judge that alone. I judge it on the taste and flavor, and that impressed me a lot. That's actually, trying that whiskey is actually what inspired myself and our club to do a New Zealand whiskey night, because we were like, it's time. New Zealand whiskey has matured, no pun intended, actually I intended that, has matured to a point where, I think it's really good. It's starting to get really good. Is it Scotch? No. Are they trying to be Scotch? No. They're trying to be their own personality, their own character, their own ethos, ideology, and their own view on what whiskey should be from New Zealand. They use peat from New Zealand, which is sphagnum moss, which is a very different flavor to everywhere else in the world, or especially Scotland. They use New Zealand malted barley. They use different types of stills, from geodesic stills to Lafroig style stills and their own adaptations to, stills they made themselves. It's a very exciting time for New Zealand whiskey. But I wanted to review this because this really hit out at me. This is a PX sherry cask finish, okay? This is 880 bottles, single barrel. It's only about 4 years old, or shy of 4 years old, but let's say 4 years old. So here in New Zealand, the regulation is whiskey is legal after 2 years, but obviously after 2 years, you'd struggle to probably really make it a good whiskey experience, let's be real. But because New Zealand is a lot warmer and the humidity and all of the weather parameters are different, the barrels do age the whiskey a lot faster. Now, I wouldn't say it's exactly the same as Scotland. I'm a big Scotch fan, okay? I'm going to declare it out there. I am a Scotch down my belly kind of guy. But you have to give credit where credit is due, and I want to take you through this particular whiskey. On the nose, look at that color first and foremost. Look at that color, PX color. Now these guys have the ability to get top-notch first fill bourbon cask and top-notch PX cask as well. So the Aaron, the rep, told me that when they got the barrels were so old, filled with sherry for so long that the barrel was black and moldy. That's what you want. You want the oldest sherry PX barrels you want. I love PX. Look at that color. On the nose, you've got that funky, sulfuric, sweet Christmas cake nose. When you nose this whiskey, you get almost no new make in there. I mean, if someone was to give you this whiskey and blind nose you on this whiskey, it is far beyond its years. This whiskey is like that deceptive girl in a club with a fake ID. You think she's 18, but be careful. That is jailbait. It is deceptive. The maturity of the nose is absolutely deceptive. It is 46%, which is actually not a bad ABV. So this company is going for mass market. I think 50 to 50 plus is good, but you know, when you're going for mass market, most people ain't gonna drink 50 plus, okay? They want something smooth and palatable as sweet. So I get it. From a commercial standpoint, I get it. Does it piss me off a little? Of course it does, because I'm a whiskey geek. But do I understand it? Yes, because I'm Chinese and I'm a fucking capitalist, okay? The nose is so mature, I can't get over it. This is what really shocked me on the night. And that's what ridiculous PX cask can do. It's dirty, it's funky, it's leathery, it's nutmeg, it's cinnamon, it's cloves, a little bit of aniseed, brown sugar syrup, liquid raisin in a glass. It's got a little bit of that talc, baby talc coming through. Oh, okay, let's get sipping. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Oak influence, sweet, burnt sugar, mushrooms, umami. It's got that, you know when you put dried shiitake mushroom in a bowl to hydrate it in a bowl of water, and then you never waste that water. That water is golden shit, right? Like, you squeeze that water out. It's got that umami in there. You can smell that fungalness of that barrel. For something that's about 4 years old, I swear to you, I can hardly taste any new make in there. It is fantastic. And I hate this word. I hate this word. It's well balanced. But it is well balanced. In fact, it's so well balanced, it disturbs me. It disturbs me. It's so palatable, it disturbs me. If they're going for mass market, they will get it. This is available in different parts of the world. I actually saw one, I think in Germany or France, I forget where, but in my travels I saw a bottle and I thought, wow, that's crazy. But it is so balanced with sherry, you can't taste the new make at all. One could argue that the sherry barrels did its job hiding the new make and matured it so well. Fruitcake in a glass. Fruitcake in a glass. And I hate to compare the two, but if someone was to give you this blind tasting, you could almost mistake it. Almost mistake it for maybe a Glenfarclas PX cask or something that's traditionally sherried, or a Glenlivet PX cask. But it's got its own zestiness to it. Orange marmalade, umami, shiitake mushroom, wet wood. Oolong tea tannins. Still a little bit more, eh? The 46% makes it so palatable. It's not hot. It is just perfect drinking ABV. And I hate to say it. I hate to say it because I don't like perfect drinking ABV. I really don't like it. I like it challenging and I like it to slow me down. But this is so unbelievably quaffable. You could buy one of these, smash it with a group of friends, and before you know it, you are streaking down the main street. Okay, you are streaking buck naked in the main street and maybe even burning a tire because it is that dangerously palatable. Look, like I said, I might do some of the other New Zealand whiskies that we had in the night, but I wanted to do this. They have access to the barrels that brings barrels to New Zealand. Most New Zealand will do second fill or maybe just I don't know where they get it from, but then they will do wine finishes because New Zealand has a great wine industry here. But these guys, they have a New Zealand twist on traditional Scotch barrels that are used in Scotland. That's Oloroso, PX, and First Fill Bourbon, and that is just fantastic. I mean, I spoke to a distiller and a distillery owner the other day, and he said that, and he gave big credit to these guys, that they might have just really saved and elevated a New Zealand whiskey to a new level because they are able to get in barrels and on-sell it to other distilleries in New Zealand, which is fantastic. But look, I would suggest, look, whoever's watching this out of New Zealand, I'd say look into New Zealand whiskey. They're doing some great things here. These guys don't muck around, and these guys decided not to bottle until a certain age of whiskey, until a certain caliber. Look for this particular whiskey. It's Pokeno Whisky. I will give you the website down below. I think you need to explore it, find a local dealer or get it shipped to you. It is worth it. It will fuck with your mind. It will fuck with your mind. It did with mine, and I have had a shitload of different whiskies. We all have. And then with that rabbit hole, maybe, just maybe, you will look at other New Zealand distilleries and try them as well. It's ridiculously palatable. Until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. And make sure you hit subscribe and that bell. Cheers.